3 days after thieves stole a little girl's puppy, the family found something moving next to a kennel. But before we start, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an upload from us. Also, leave a like right now. One of the worst and most invasive things a family can go through is a home robbery. Not only does it shatter your perception of safety, but it can create anxiety, paranoia, and be a real financial hit depending on what was taken. For one family, a home robbery turned into an absolutely devastating blow when their daughter's puppy was stolen. However, a few days later, they spotted movement in their garden. Could it be possible the burglars were back for round 2? For the Sardi family, November 2017 would be a month to remember. It was the month they took their sweet daughter Maya to pick up a puppy. To say parents Elena and Ryan were excited would be an understatement. They even turned the whole day into a special trip for their 4-year-old. You should see what little Maya picked out. While there were so many choices, Maya chose a sweet 8-week-old Labrador puppy. The family named her Sasha, and she would soon become the perfect playmate. According to Maya's parents, since she was only a child, they felt a puppy would make the perfect companion. Thankfully, the parents' plan worked like a charm. It only took a week for Sasha and Maya to bond and become best friends. According to Elena, the puppy and her daughter had become practically inseparable. All activities were completed together, and Maya couldn't have been happier. Sadly, something was about to happen that would tear them apart. One morning, Elena took her daughter to the doctor for a routine checkup. Leaving the house empty, she could never have expected someone would burglarize the home while they were out. Unfortunately, when they returned, the house was ransacked and most of their irreplaceable possessions were gone. But even worse, Sasha was missing. The burglars managed to steal some jewelry, an iPad, as well as a laptop. When Elena rushed outside to check on Sasha in her kennel, she was mortified to find it empty. Panicked, she quickly searched the backyard and house, but to no avail. The puppy was gone. After the police were called, it was determined that little Sasha had not run away. It seemed the burglars had taken her as well. To say the family was devastated would be an understatement. What horrible person would steal a puppy from a little girl? I was heartbroken, and I'm still shaking. We are really sad, Elena told ABC News. Of course, it was Maya who was suffering the worst of it. She had lost her best friend and didn't fully understand why. Would this little girl ever be reunited with her best pal? Refusing to believe that their puppy was gone forever, the Sardi family printed out flyers and began a campaign to find their precious puppy. They mounted posters, took to social media, and even had interviews with the local media. The family hoped with so much attention being drawn to their story, someone would spot their puppy somewhere. It wouldn't take long for the story to circulate the airwaves and become a media firestorm. The family no longer cared about their missing items. They just wanted their puppy back. Not just for Maya, but Elena was concerned for the little pooch's health. Apparently, Sasha had a health condition and time was running out. According to the Sardi family, Sasha hadn't had any of her vaccines yet due to her age and size. This meant she was vulnerable to certain illnesses and couldn't be around other dogs. If the puppy wasn't handled correctly, she ends up getting very ill. Would Sasha be saved in time? Realizing the dog had a health condition, the investigators ramped up their search. While they knew the odds were against finding Sasha, they hoped they would be able to use the evidence they did have in their possession to locate her. Thanks to Sasha's story being shared on social media and the local news, neighbors and strangers all stepped in to keep their eyes out for Sasha. For Elena, it was almost too much for her to handle emotionally. All I cared about was Maya and her well-being. I knew how much the puppy meant to her, and to see all these people sacrifice time to help us find Sasha, it warmed my heart, Elena told the local news. One small consolation in the wake of Sasha's disappearance was that she was microchipped. Therefore, if she was ever brought to a vet, she would immediately be identified. Since Sasha had been microchipped, a search began at the local shelters to see if she had been dropped off or picked up. While it was like looking for a needle in a haystack, it did give investigators and the family something to go on. Could Sasha be hiding away in the cold and lonely depths of a shelter? Of course, this didn't make Maya feel any better. She simply wanted her puppy home. Despite her young age, Maya didn't want to just sit around and do nothing. She wanted to play her part in helping find her precious puppy. You won't believe what she does next. Refusing to give up and suffering from insomnia since Sasha's disappearance, little Maya took to the streets with her father. She refused to believe Sasha was gone forever and was determined to find her. Where could the puppy be? Maya and her father searched the neighborhood after neighborhood, hoping that maybe Sasha had escaped when the burglars broke in. They would spend hours each day calling out for the puppy, but sadly, she never showed up. Unfortunately, their sadness was only going to intensify when the investigators called with the not-so-good news. After running Sasha's microchip, the investigators weren't able to find any matches at the local shelters. This left the odds of Sasha being found very low. Now all the family could do was pray for a miracle. A few days after Sasha's disappearance, Elena noticed some movement in the garden. Thinking it could be the burglars at first, Elena watched from the kitchen window. She didn't know what to do. Paralyzed with fear, Elena slowly reached for her phone to call the police. However, right before she dialed 911, Elena noticed something familiar. The movement was coming from inside Sasha's kennel. Something or someone was inside. Is it possible Sasha had returned? Elena quickly rushed outside and called for Sasha, who immediately trotted out of her kennel like she'd never been missing. To say the family was shocked and relieved could be an understatement. The family quickly took the puppy to a vet to be checked out, and she was given a clean bill of health. They also made sure to start her first round of vaccines right then and there. No need to put the poor puppy at risk again. While the robbery and Sasha's disappearance still remains a mystery, the family is thankful to whoever returned her. In the end, the little girl got her best friend back, and that's all that matters. Maya and her family are a true testament to the loving bond between man and animal. When all seemed lost, they refused to give up hope.